Lyria stood at the edge of her family home, her hands shaking gently as she held the soft fabric of her cloak close to her body. The evening sky of her planet burned with deep purple clouds and cold silver winds. But the real storm was inside her heart. She had walked for hours, thinking, breathing fast, trying to gather courage. But the truth followed her like a shadow she could not escape. She whispered to herself again and again, I must tell her. I must tell my mother. But every step toward the front door felt heavy. Like the ground itself wanted to keep her silent, Lyria knew that once she spoke the truth, her whole life would change, her future would change, and her clan would never see her the same again. Inside the home, her mother, Vareth, was preparing the evening lights. The soft glow painted silver lines across her calm but strict face. She was a proud woman of their noble clan, someone who valued tradition, order, and honor. She had raised Lyria with discipline and love, but also with strong expectations. When the door slid open, Vareth turned. Her eyes narrowing for a moment, she saw the fear on Lyria's face. The trembling hands, the pale skin. Lyria, she said quietly, what happened? Child, Lyria stepped inside and closed the door slowly. The sound of it echoed like a final warning. She took a deep breath. But her voice broke when she tried to speak. Mom, I need to tell you something, she whispered. Vareth walked closer, her expression shifting from annoyance to concern. She touched Lyria's shoulder gently. Tell me, she said. You are frightening me. Lyria looked into her mother's eyes. Eyes that had always been strong, always steady. But now Lyria saw something else hiding there. Fear of the unknown, fear of losing her daughter. Mom, I'm carrying a child, Lyria said, her voice shaking badly. The room fell silent. The lights hummed softly. A single plate fell from the shelf and cracked on the floor. Vareth did not move. Her breathing stopped for a moment. A child, Vareth repeated softly. You? You are pregnant, Lyria nodded once, tears rising in her eyes. Her mother covered her mouth with her hand, staring at her daughter, tears of shock building in her eyes. But then came the whisper that broke the world. Mom, the father, he is a human. Vareth staggered backward as if someone pushed her, her face twisted with confusion and fear. She shook her head again and again. No. No, Lyria, you cannot mean that. But Lyria nodded again, her tears falling now. Her mother whispered, Why, Lyria? How? Lyria held her stomach gently. Because he saved me, Mom. Because he protected me. Because he cared when no one else did. And then she spoke the part she feared most. He is coming here tonight, Mom. I asked him to meet you. Vareth froze, her mind racing. Her voice dropped to a whisper. You brought a human into this house's shadow. You told him where we live. Lyria looked down, unable to meet her mother's eyes. He wants to help. He wants to stand with me. Her mother shook her head slowly. Lyria, our clan will kill him. Lyria wiped her tears with trembling hands. I know, she whispered, but I don't want to hide anymore. Vareth walked to the window and looked out at the street. She saw shadows moving far away. Small shapes watching the house, observing its doors. She clenched her jaw. Lyria, the clan already suspects something, Vareth said. Your uncles, the elders, the young males. They saw the change in your steps, in your breath. They will not allow a human to enter this place. Lyria walked to her mother and held her arm. Mom, please, just meet him once. Her mother turned sharply. Meet him, she said. Lyria. He is a human. Lyria lifted her head, her eyes glowing with courage. And he is kinder than anyone in this clan. Vareth felt her chest tighten. She had never seen her daughter speak with such strength. Such fire. She understood that this was no childish mistake, no small secret, This was love, deep and real. But love was dangerous in their world. Vareth sat down slowly, her legs weak. "Tell me everything," she said, her voice softer now. Lyria nodded and sat beside her. She told her mother everything. How she met Evan during the expedition. How he pulled her from the river when she slipped. How he fought creatures to protect her. How he cleaned her wounds, shared food with her, and stayed awake all night to watch over her. She told her mother how Evan never touched her without permission, never raised his voice, never treated her like something lesser. "He became my friend," Lyria whispered. "Then he became more." Vareth listened quietly, her eyes wet, but before she could speak, a deep sound came from outside. Thud, thud, heavy boots on the ground, many of them, moving toward their door. Vareth stood quickly, her breath shaking. "They are here," she whispered. "The clan has come for you." Lyria grabbed her mother's hand, her voice breaking. "Mom, Evan is on his way." Vareth's eyes widened with fear. She pulled Lyria close and whispered, "Then may the stars protect him. Because your clan will not." Outside, the shadows stopped right in front of their door, and the night held its breath. Evan walked alone through the narrow alien street, his boots making soft echoes in the cold night air. The sky above him was filled with glowing rings and drifting lights, but nothing felt beautiful tonight. He could feel the eyes on him, dozens of angry, curious, judgmental eyes watching every step he took. He held a small wooden box in his hand, a simple gift he carved for Lyria's mother. He wanted to show respect. He wanted to show that he came with peace, but deep inside, he knew peace was not what he would find here. Every alien he passed stopped and stared at him. Some whispered insults, some looked scared, some looked ready to attack. Evan was used to being called a savage, but tonight those words cut deeper. He was walking toward the family of the woman he loved, toward a house filled with danger. He kept repeating one thought in his mind. "Lyria needs me." His pace quickened. At the end of the street, a group of young alien males appeared, their armor glowing softly with a tribal pattern. They blocked the path, forming a wall of hatred in front of him. One of them stepped forward, his eyes cold. "Human, turn back," he said. "You are not welcome here." Evan stayed calm, kept his hands down, and answered softly, "I'm here to meet Lyria's family." The young alien's jaw tightened. No human will ever cross this street to her home. Evan took one quiet breath. "I'm not here to fight," he said. "I don't want trouble." But the aliens laughed, a sharp, cruel sound. "You already brought trouble by coming," one of them said. "And your death will be the end of it." The tallest one pushed Evan's chest. Trying to provoke him, Evan stepped back but did not raise his hands. "I'm not fighting you," he said calmly. "Move aside." The alien's eyes flashed with anger. He spat on the ground and charged at Evan. Evan dodged slightly, avoiding the strike without hitting back. Another alien grabbed Evan's arm. Another kicked his leg. Evan stumbled but kept standing. They attacked again, this time harder. Their fists hit his ribs. Their arms locked around his shoulders. Evan felt pain shoot across his side. But he held himself steady. He whispered, "Please, stop," but they didn't hear him. They didn't want peace. They wanted to break him. One alien raised a metal baton, swinging it toward Evan's head. Evan caught the wrist just in time, stopping the blow inches from his face. The alien's eyes widened. The human moved faster than expected. Stronger than expected, Evan lowered the arm slowly, pushing the baton away without hurting the alien. But this only made the group angrier. "Fight us, human," one of them growled. "Show us your true savage nature." Evan shook his head. "No," he said. "I only fight to protect." The aliens attacked again. All at once, Evan blocked one blow with his arm, deflected another, stepped aside to avoid a strike. He moved with control, precision, like someone who had trained for survival but hated violence. One alien tried to stab him with a sharp bone knife. Evan caught the blade with his bare hand, twisted, and dropped it to the ground without cutting the attacker. The group stepped back, breathing hard, their pride bruised. They had expected the human to bleed, to beg, to fall. Instead, he stood there, steady, calm, refusing to hurt any of them. A voice echoed from the shadows nearby, deep and old. Enough. Everyone froze. An elder walked out, holding a staff carved with the symbols of their clan. His eyes studied Evan carefully, not with hatred, but with curiosity. He looked at the young warriors. "You shame yourselves," he said, 5 against 1. "And you still accomplish nothing." The warriors lowered their heads. Burning with embarrassment, the elder stepped closer to Evan. "Why do you come here, human?" he asked. "Why walk into a place where death waits for you?" Evan held the wooden box tightly and answered, "Because Lyria asked me to come." The elder's eyes narrowed. "And why would she do that?" Evan took a soft breath. "Because she carries my child," he said quietly. The elder's expression froze. The young warriors gasped. For a moment, the whole street felt silent. Even the wind seemed to stop. The elder stepped closer, his voice low. "You speak a dangerous truth," Evan nodded. "I do." The elder studied him. "Do you plan to take her away from us?" Evan shook his head. "No," he said. "I plan to stay by her side." The elder stared at him for a long moment. Then he turned away and said to the warriors, "Let him pass." The warriors hesitated, confused, but slowly moved aside. Evan nodded in silent thanks and continued walking. His steps were slower now, his ribs aching, his wounds stinging. But his heart was firm. Far ahead, he could see Lyria's home glowing softly under the night sky. He could almost feel her presence calling him, urging him. But the elder stayed in the shadows. Watching him walk away, his voice whispered to himself, "This human might change everything." Evan reached the last turn before Lyria's street. The gift box felt heavier now, the night colder, but he kept walking. Because love pushed his feet forward, stronger than fear. Ahead, he saw shapes gathering near Lyria's door, clan guards, armored and ready. He whispered to himself, "Hold on, Lyria. I'm coming," and he stepped into the danger without looking back. Lyria stood near the front door, her hands twisted together, her breath uneven. She could hear the clan guards gathering outside, heavy armor shifting, low voices whispering threats mixed with curiosity. She felt like her heart was trapped inside a cage of fear. Her mother, Verith, stood beside the window, watching the shadows move closer to their house. The glow of the night sky reflected across her face, showing a mix of anger, fear, and something deeper, confusion. She turned toward Lyria. "This is madness," she whispered. "A human cannot walk into this house, not tonight. Not ever." But Lyria stepped closer, her voice soft but steady. "He is coming, Mom," she said. "And I will not send him away." Before Verith could answer, they both froze. Footsteps approached the gate, slow, careful, but heavy. Evan appeared from the shadows, tired, bruised, with dust on his clothes and dried blood on his arm, but he stood tall. Like nothing in the world could force him to turn back. Lyria gasped and ran to the door, sliding it open. She rushed outside and wrapped her arms around him, holding him tight as if she feared losing him in the next second. Evan closed his eyes for a moment, breathing her in. His chest hurt from the earlier fight, but her embrace made everything lighter. "You're hurt," Lyria whispered. Touching his face gently, Evan gave a small smile. "It looks worse than it feels," he said. Behind them, the clan guards growled softly. gripping their weapons, unsure if they should attack or wait. Some looked angry, others confused, some even frightened of the human who had survived a confrontation with their strongest youths. Vareth stepped outside. Her eyes went straight to Evan. Her expression unreadable. She had expected a monster, a wild creature with fire in his eyes and cruelty in his heart. That was what the stories said. That was what the clan believed. That was what she was taught her entire life. But the man standing in front of her, he looked nothing like a beast. He looked tired, respectful, calm, and strangely gentle. He bowed deeply to her, offering the wooden box forward with both hands. "Ma'am," Evan said quietly. "I made this for you." Lyria watched her mother's face, waiting, hoping, terrified. Vareth didn't take the box. Not yet. She stared at Evan, studying every part of him. The bruises, the exhaustion, the quiet strength. Her voice was cold. "Why are you here?" "Human." Evan lifted his head, meeting her eyes. "Because Lyria asked me to come." "Do you understand the danger?" Vareth asked. "My clan wants you dead." Evan nodded. "I know," he said simply. "Yet you still came." "Yes," Evan said. "Because she is carrying my child." The guards behind them fell silent. Even the wind seemed to pause. Vareth's breath hitched. She gripped the railing, her fingers tightening. "You did this to her," she whispered. Half in anger, half in disbelief, Evan shook his head gently. "We chose each other," he said. "I never forced her, never pressured her. She means everything to me." Vareth looked at Lyria sharply. "Is this true?" Lyria nodded, her voice cracking. "I love him, Mom." Vareth closed her eyes. She felt her world bending and breaking in ways she was not prepared for. She turned to Evan again, her voice shaking with emotion she could not control. "Why protect her?" she said. "Why fight my clan's warriors without hurting them?" Evan took a long, slow breath. "Because I don't hurt what she loves," he said. "I will protect her." "And the child?" "Even if it costs me my life." Lyria's eyes filled with tears. Vareth swallowed hard. Her resolve weakening, she stepped closer, her voice quieter now. "Humans are known for rage, violence, destruction," she said. "But you stand here with calm eyes." Evan bowed his head slightly. "I'm not what your clan believes," he said. "Humans can be different." Vareth looked down at the wooden box he still held in his hands. Slowly, almost unwillingly, she reached for it. Her fingers touched the smooth wood, the careful carving, the respectful craftsmanship. "You made this?" she asked softly. "Yes," Evan said. "As a sign of peace?" Vareth opened the box. Inside was a small wooden flower, shaped with delicate detail. Every petal smooth, every line perfect. Her breath trembled. No savage could make something like this. No violent creature carved with such softness. She closed the box gently, her voice almost breaking. "I don't know what to do with you," she whispered. Before anyone could speak, a sudden shout echoed from the street. The clan elder approached, flanked by armed warriors, his eyes burning with fury and fear. "Bring the human forward," he commanded. "The clan will judge him tonight." Vareth stepped back instinctively. Lyria grabbed Evan's arm. Holding him close, the elder pointed at them. "And the girl," he said, "she carries forbidden blood. She must surrender the child." Lyria's heart almost stopped, but Evan stepped forward, placing himself between her and the elder without hesitation, his voice steady. "You will not touch her." The warriors raised their weapons. The tension cracked like lightning through the night, and Vareth, standing between love, fear, and tradition, whispered to herself, "What have we become?" The night held its breath once again, as the human and the clan faced each other for the first time. The clan elder stepped forward with slow, heavy steps, his long cloak dragging across the stone ground. His eyes were sharp like cold steel. Full of anger and fear mixed together, the air felt thick, as if the night itself was waiting to see what would happen next. Evan kept himself in front of Lyria, shielding her with his body. His chest rose and fell slowly, steady and calm. Even though he knew he was surrounded by enemies, Lyria held his shoulder, trembling. But her grip was strong enough to show she would not run. The elder raised his staff, its crystal tip glowing with pale blue light. "The human will step forward," he said, his voice loud enough to echo through the street. "He has broken our laws." Evan didn't move. Not an inch. The elder narrowed his eyes. "Very well," he said. "Then we will bring the punishment to you." He gestured to the warriors. "Take him." 5 armored warriors stepped toward Evan, their weapons drawn, their armor rattled softly, their footsteps shaking the weak dust on the ground. They were bigger, stronger, trained to fight since childhood. Lyria grabbed Evan's arm tightly. "No," she whispered, her voice breaking. "Please don't leave me." Evan touched her hand gently. "I won't," he said quietly. "Not tonight." The warriors lunged. One aimed for Evan's chest, another for his legs, another for his head. Evan moved fast. Faster than they expected, he stepped aside, catching one warrior's arm and pushing him away without hurting him. Another strike came. Evan ducked under it, blocking the blow with his forearm. The metallic sound rang through the street. The elder watched, surprised. Evan did not attack to kill. He did not strike with rage. He only defended, moved, redirected, protecting himself without harming anyone. The warriors grew angrier, embarrassed to be stopped by one unarmored human. They attacked again, this time together, blades and staffs flashing through the air. Evan stood his ground. His movements were sharp, clean, almost like water flowing around rocks. He blocked a swing aimed at his ribs, sidestepped a thrust targeting his stomach, and twisted another attacker's wrist, just enough to disarm him without breaking bone. A warrior swung a heavy staff at Evan's back. Lyria gasped, Vareth shouted, but Evan turned just in time, catching the staff in both hands, muscles tightening, stopping the blow mid-air. The warrior stared at him in shock. Unable to pull the staff free, Evan pushed gently, sending the warrior stumbling backward without injury. The elder slammed his staff on the ground. "Enough," he shouted. "Step back." The warriors retreated, panting, their pride crushed. Evan stood tall, breathing hard but steady, his body aching but unbroken. Lyria ran to him, holding his arms, checking for wounds. Her voice shook. "They hurt you?" Evan gave a small, tired smile. "I'm all right," he said, though blood dripped slowly from a cut near his shoulder. The elder stared at Evan with disbelief and something like fear. "How does a human fight like this?" he muttered. And without killing, Vareth stepped forward, her voice stronger now. "Because he is not the monster you told us he was," she said. "Look at him." The elder looked between Evan and the warriors. His jaw tightened, his anger now twisted with confusion. He pointed his staff at Lyria. "The child she carries breaks the sacred rules of our clan," he said. "She must surrender it," Lyria gasped, stepping back in fear. Evan immediately stood in front of her again, blocking the elder's view of her. His eyes were calm, but there was fire beneath them. "You will not touch her," Evan said, his voice firm. "You will not touch our child." The warriors tensed again, weapons rising, but the elder silently raised his hand, stopping them. Something in Evan's tone made even him hesitate. "You think you can protect her from an entire clan?" the elder asked quietly. Evan nodded. "Yes," he said. "I will stand between her and anyone who tries to hurt her." "And you think you can win?" the elder asked. Evan shook his head. "No," he said softly. "I don't fight to win." He looked at Lyria for a moment. "I fight because she matters to me." The elder's eyes softened for the smallest second, the first crack in his stone heart, but he hid it quickly behind anger. "You are a threat," he said. "A danger that must be removed." Vareth stepped forward suddenly, her voice fierce, shocking even the warriors. "No," she said. "I have seen his eyes, his respect, his heart." The elder stared at her. "You defend him," he said. "You defend the outsider who brought shame to your bloodline." Vareth lifted her chin. "My daughter loves him," she said, "and he loves her." "This love will destroy us," the elder warned. "Or save us," Vareth whispered. The street went silent. Every warrior frozen, every shadow still. The elder raised his staff one last time. "Then let the night decide," he said. "If the human survives the clan's judgment, he may keep his life." Lyria clutched Evan's arm tightly. Evan took a slow breath, bracing himself. The sky above them darkened as more clan members gathered, their armor shining under the night lights, forming a circle around Evan, Lyria, and Vareth. The elder lowered his staff, his voice echoing across the stone street. "Let the human face the night," he declared, "and let us see what he truly is." The circle of armored clan members tightened around Evan, Lyria, and Vareth, their glowing weapons pointed inward. Shining cold light across the stone street, the air felt thick, heavy, and tense, as if the whole village was holding its breath. Evan stood in the center, blood dried on his skin, his body aching, but his posture straight and calm. He didn't lift his fists, didn't show anger. He simply protected Lyria with his presence. Standing like a shield made of human courage, Lyria held his arm, her tears silent, her heart pounding painfully inside her chest. She couldn't bear the thought of losing him. Vareth stood on the other side, torn between her daughter, her clan, and the new truth she had seen with her own eyes. The elder raised his staff. "Human," he called. "The clan has judged you." Evan's eyes didn't flinch. "I accept your judgment," he said quietly. Lyria gasped. "No," she whispered. "Don't say that." But Evan squeezed her hand gently. "It will be all right," he whispered. The elder's voice echoed through the night. "You have broken our laws," he said. "You formed a forbidden bond, and you placed a child of foreign blood inside our lineage." Lyria stepped forward, trembling. "It is my choice," she said. "Not his." The elder shook his head. "A choice does not erase the danger." He lowered his staff, pointing it directly at Evan. "Your life belongs to the clan now," the crowd murmured. Weapons lifted higher, but before anyone could move, Vareth stepped forward, placing herself between the elder and Evan. Her voice rang loud and fierce. "Enough." The entire street froze. The elder stared at her in disbelief. "You dare interrupt judgment?" Vareth stood tall, her cloak flowing behind her. "I do," she said. "Because this judgment is wrong." Gasps spread through the crowd. Warriors exchanged shocked looks. She pointed at Evan. "This human fought your warriors without killing them," she said. "He protected my daughter when she was wounded. He cared for her. He carved a gift with his own hands. He stands here with respect, with calm, with love." She stepped closer to the elder. "If this is what you call savagery, then maybe our clan has forgotten what honor truly is." The elder's jaw tightened, his pride shaking. "You speak against your own people," he said. "I speak for truth," Vareth answered. For the first time in years, Lyria stepped beside her mother, tears in her eyes. "He is the father of my child," she whispered, "and I will not give up my family." The elder looked around at the crowd. Some warriors lowered their weapons, confused, hesitant, unsure of what was right anymore. The elder finally spoke, his voice quieter, heavy. "Then the decision is this," he said, "if you want to keep the human alive, if you want to keep the unborn child, then you and your family will be exiled from the clan." Lyria's breath caught in her throat. Vareth froze. The crowd fell silent. Exile in their world was a harsh fate, losing home, honor, protection, everything. The elder lifted his staff. "Choose now," he said, "your clan, or the human." For a long moment, no one moved. Even the night winds held still. Then Vareth stepped forward, her voice steady. "I choose my daughter," she said. The warriors stared in shock. The elder's eyes widened slightly. Lyria turned to her mother, her voice breaking. "Mom." Vareth placed a hand on her cheek. "I lost too much by following rules without heart," she whispered. "I will not lose you." Evan stepped closer, quietly overwhelmed. "Ma'am, you don't have to do this." Vareth looked at him, her eyes softening. "You protected my daughter," she said. "Now I protect all of you." The elder's voice shook with disappointment. "Then you are no longer one of us," he declared. Lyria took Evan's hand, gripping it tightly. "We leave," she said. Together, the crowd parted slowly as the three of them walked toward the edge of the village. The silence was heavy, but no one dared to attack them. No one dared to speak. Evan kept Lyria close to his side, his other arm supporting her as they walked into the night. Vareth followed behind them, her steps steady, choosing love over loyalty. When they reached the ridge overlooking the dark forest, Lyria stopped and turned to Evan, her voice soft but full of emotion. "Thank you," she whispered, "for staying with me." Evan touched her cheek gently. "You're my family now," he said. "Both of you." "All three of you?" Vareth watched them, her heart heavy but warm. "Your child," she whispered, "will grow up stronger than any of us." The moonlight washed over them, lighting the new path they would take together, far from the clan, far from the rules, but closer to a future they chose with their own hearts. Evan held Lyria's hand. Vareth stood beside them, and under the silent glowing sky, the three of them walked forward into their new life, leaving behind a world that never understood them. A human, an alien daughter, and a mother who chose love over fear. Together, they stepped into the unknown, stronger than the night itself.